Hi, this is Kim from the Emotional Alchemy Academy, and in this short video I want to tell you about the Return to Health program. And specifically I want to tell you what it is, who it is for, when it's happening, how it works, and everything that you need to know to make an informed decision of whether you want to come along. So let me start with the what. What is this program? It is an online group coaching program which will be run live just once. In other words, live group coaching with me rather than you doing it by yourself on demand, DIY, completely self-help later, which is how it will be available after it has been run live. It's a 10-week live guided group coaching program which teaches you how to get rid of symptoms. So what is different about this program compared to if you go to a therapist is that it's teaching you how to do it for yourself. And this really excites me. It is so empowering to be able to know what to do with symptoms and how to get rid of them, rather than constantly having to go to somebody else to do it for you. So in this program, you're going to learn what causes illness and what you need to do to reverse symptoms. And there is no use of any supplements or external interventions of any kind. It's all about the change that you create inside you. Because the body is a self-healing mechanism. It's built to heal itself. But if you haven't been given the operating manual, then you don't know how to use your body properly. And most people don't know how to use their body properly, and they don't know how to interpret the hidden meaning and messages behind symptoms. So what kind of symptoms are we talking about? Well, in my experience of coaching clients for 14 years with hundreds of different types of symptoms and different diagnosed health conditions, it can help just about anything. So why is that? Well, it's because we heal a person, not an illness. And we heal a person's life, not a health condition. So we're not going to be focusing on the symptoms. We're going to be focusing on the cause of the symptoms and revealing that, and then that is what gets healed. So for example, you could have a niggly symptom which just won't go away, or some sort of symptom which just keeps coming back again and again, like headaches, migraines, back pain, shoulder pain, some pain in some part of your body, just some type of pain that just keeps plaguing you. Now we can work on that sort of thing, or if you've been diagnosed with a chronic illness such as chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, ME, post-viral fatigue, irritable bowel, some sort of digestive condition, or just some sort of syndrome, which means a group of symptoms, we also work on that. And the techniques in this program are specifically geared to helping people with either kind of symptom. So what you're going to get in this program is step-by-step, paint-by-numbers solutions and strategies for dealing with whatever health issues you have. So that is the what. So now let me explain the why. Why am I doing this, and why do I teach this? Well, to cut a very long story short, I went through a very long journey of my own to heal chronic illness. And I had many different illnesses throughout my life, including chronic fatigue syndrome, clinical depression, which had me hospitalized, shingles, back problems which just kept coming back again and again, chronic urinary tract infections, allergies, asthma, hay fever, a whole host of chronic health issues. And when I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue in my 30s, I found myself unable to work for 10 years. Now that was a very long period of time to be sick and to not be able to work and to be seeking answers and not finding answers. Now actually I did find the answers after about 6 years, but for the first 6 years I was really at a loss. I tried over 250 different therapies, but nothing was really working and nobody could tell me why I had symptoms. And then I found a big missing piece of the puzzle, which no one had told me up until then. And that was the power of unresolved emotional hurts to create physical symptoms. I had no idea that the emotional pain that I'd been unconsciously storing inside of me was the reason for my physical symptoms. And that was a turning point. Now, there are other reasons for symptoms, but I can assure you, unresolved emotional hurts are a major piece of the puzzle, which is why I came to found the Emotional Alchemy Academy. So of course we're going to be focusing on this during the program, as well as all the other causes which we need to look at. Now, as a result of my own journey, where I was unable to work for about 10 years, I lost a lot of my life. I lost 2 mortgage-free homes because I used the money to travel the world to find the answers that I was desperately seeking. I spent my life savings. I had to give up my dream career, and I missed out on the prime years of meeting a partner and having children. So I know what it's like to experience the consequences of missing out on life due to illness. And I also know that if somebody had come to me right at the start of my journey and said, "Hey Kim, I understand what causes illness and I know what solutions to apply," and had I taken that advice and that information which I now give people, I know for sure that I would have got well in under a year. I know it. But instead I took the long route because there was nobody to definitively tell me this is the cause of your symptoms and this is what you need to do. Now, I truly believe that that happened for a bigger reason, and it happened so that I could now help other people do it in a much shorter time. And the analogy that I like to give is that if you imagine, for example, that you wanted to climb Mount Everest and you've never been trekking in the Himalayas before, imagine if you choose to go by yourself. You'll be sitting there scratching your head going, okay, what equipment do I need to take? What clothes do I need to take? What route am I going to take? How am I going to get up this mountain? What path am I going to go? What food will I need? Where will I sleep? You will have to work all of that out yourself. But if you go with a trekking company, they will provide a guide who has been up there multiple times to the top. They will provide porters who carry your bags and who cook your meals. They put your tent up, and all you have to do is walk up the path and enjoy the scenery. And this is a very apt analogy for how it is when I teach people. I have done all the hard work. All you have to do is turn up and follow the guidance. And from the hundreds of clients that I've worked with over the past 14 years, I know for sure that these strategies work. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here saying it, because it's really important to me that I'm authentic and that I teach what I truly know. So I'm very, very confident in what I teach, and I'm proud of that because it's taken me a long time to learn this. So the reason that I teach what I teach is because I want to help people, you, if this is you, get your life back. Because if we have physical symptoms, that means we're experiencing discomfort. And that could be mild discomfort or it could be really severe discomfort. And not only physical discomfort, it's probably going to be disrupting your life in many ways. For example, maybe you're not able to enjoy your work properly. Maybe you're not able to enjoy your family properly. Maybe you can't travel. Maybe you can't do the hobbies you'd like to do. There will be some consequences of these symptoms. So my job and my goal is to help you get your life back and get back on track as soon as possible so that you can A, enjoy your life, and B, be symptom free. So let's come to the who. That would be me and you. So let me tell you a little bit more about my background and, apart from my own personal journey, how I come to be helping other people. Now, while I was working to get myself well, I tried over 250 therapies, and then I started to train professionally in some of those therapies, not because I wanted to be a therapist, but because I was trying to get myself well. And because I did so much training in several therapies, I became qualified at a professional level to be a therapist in these therapies. For example, energy healing, flower essences, qigong, meditation, multiple brain integration, motivational medicine, chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia recovery, and several other therapies. And you can look those up on the website if you want to know more. But over a period of 20 years, I trained in many different therapies. And what tends to happen after a certain amount of time is that you then start to develop your own protocol. And this is what I have done. So I've developed my own root cause analysis protocol, which is the signature technique for identifying the root cause of symptoms, which took me many years to refine. And I also have my TKM lifestyle medicine and other protocols. And all of this will be in the program. So now we come to the where. Where is this program held? Well, it's online, and specifically in two ways. You will have access to a private online membership portal where all the course materials are stored. And it includes videos, downloadable audios, downloadable worksheets if relevant for certain lessons, and 24/7 access from your computer, laptop, phone, etc. So that is where all the course materials are stored, and you have a minimum of 12 months access, but I like to give what I call lifetime access to the course materials. And what that means is, as long as the program is still live on the web, you will still have access. So that will hopefully be for several years at least. The other part of the program is the live coaching. Now, the live coaching is really valuable because we come together as a group for weekly coaching classes, and this is where you bring your questions. And so this is like having personal coaching, except it's in a group environment, and that is really beneficial in several ways. First of all, you get to ask your questions and get laser coaching. For example, a couple of weeks ago, I was in a group coaching class and somebody mentioned that they had quite severe pain in their liver. And within just 15-20 minutes of laser coaching, the pain had reduced by 50%. So getting this laser coaching helps you to really hone in on the cause of the problem, which you can't do by yourself if you don't know the questions to ask. And the other benefit of the group coaching is that when we listen to other people sharing what they're going through, we learn a huge amount about ourselves. And also, we feel like we're not alone, because often when we're dealing with a health problem, if we can't find somebody to help us, it feels extremely lonely and very frustrating, and that's when we start to feel despondent and hopeless, and everything spirals down, and that is not a good place to go. So it's very uplifting to work in a group environment and very beneficial from a learning perspective, plus you get the personalized laser coaching with me during those sessions, and that is absolutely priceless. So as far as when the program is running, the dates are on the website, so check those dates out. As I said, it will be run once live, and then people will be able to enroll in the program on demand as a DIY, completely self-help program without the personalized weekly coaching. So let's now look at the how, because this is really what most people want to know. They want to know, well, how is this going to help me? You know, what's in the program and how is this going to help me? So there are two core components to the program. The first part is working out the cause of the problems. And this is really important, and it's what I call root cause analysis. And when you enroll in this program, you have two options. You can enroll with the root cause analysis, and what I mean by that is a personal one-to-one root cause analysis consultation with me. This is not something you do in the group environment, it's something you do directly, privately with me. And I've never offered this before in my chronic illness recovery programs. And the reason that I am offering it is because it will fast track your recovery tenfold, 100-fold. And I know this because I know the power and the value of doing this root cause analysis. So the first option is to enroll in the program with this private one-to-one root cause analysis. The second option is to enroll in the program without a personal one-to-one root cause analysis. Now there will be some root cause analysis questions and templates in the program to help you work out the cause of your own symptoms, and this will be really useful. But it is not the same thing as having it done with me, because however much we look for our own issues or the cause of our own issues, we will never see everything, because it's like we're looking at the dark side of the moon, and it doesn't matter what angle we look at it from, we'll never be able to see that side of the moon. And we all have our blind spots, and we can't see our own blind spots, and that is why I've offered this root cause analysis as an option with this program. And my recommendation is, if you want to really make the most of the program, take it with the root cause analysis. On the other hand, the reason I wanted to offer the program without the root cause analysis is because for some people it's a real stretch to join this program, and I wanted to make it as affordable as I can. So what is a root cause analysis? Well, on the web page there is a link to click through to read more about it, because it's just too complicated and complex to explain everything in this video. But in short, what it does is it looks at your whole life from the moment you're born to now, to trace all the key elements and events and situations and traumas which you may not have recognized as being traumatic for you, that have gone into creating a foundation for illness, even if that illness turned up many years later. So this is what the root cause analysis is. And in my experience of coaching clients for 14 years, I have found that in every single case, the root cause of symptoms was set up in the first 7 years of life. And I've not found that to not be true for one person yet. I'm still waiting to find someone that doesn't fit that statistic, but this is how it is so far. That the root foundation of illness is set up in the first 7 years of life. So in this root cause analysis session, it's like the blinkers are taken off that you didn't even know you had on. If you imagine a horse going along the road with blinkers on, you know how much it can see, and then suddenly you take those blinkers off, it's going to have a much wider arc of vision, and that is what happens in this root cause analysis. So that's one part of the program. But once we've done that, we move into the main part of the program, which is all focused on solution. Once we've identified the problem, that will automatically reveal the solutions, and we will spend most of our time in this program focusing on solutions. We don't need to keep focusing on the problem. We need to focus on the solutions. So there are many, many solutions which I have in this program. And the way I like to describe it is if you were at a buffet or a smorgasbord of techniques. Now, when you go up to a buffet, you are not going to put on your plate exactly what the person next to you is going to put on their plate. Everybody is going to choose something slightly different, and some people will have some of the same. And that is how it works with healing, because we're all unique, we're all individual, and we'll all need something slightly different. And that will become self-apparent as you go through the program. And obviously with the private coaching during the 10-week live training, then you will be able to ask questions about that as well. And if you do the root cause analysis, then that will enable me to be able to give you much more personalized, specific strategies, which is another benefit for doing the root cause analysis. So you will have a toolbox of techniques which are in the program, and you'll be able to pick and choose what is right for you. And because you have ongoing access after the 10 weeks, you can go in and watch and re-watch and reuse and go deeper with any of these techniques. And as you apply the solutions, your body will come back to health. And just to give you a sampling of just some of the topics that we'll be covering, we'll be looking at body intelligence and how the body speaks to you through symptoms and how to interpret those symptoms. We'll be looking at the metaphysics of illness, at quantum healing, lifestyle medicine, how to make positive changes in your life that are going to lead to your body restoring its natural state of health, how to reduce stress, environmental factors, physical factors which go beyond just looking at food and diet and exercise. So a whole range of techniques, solutions, strategies in this smorgasbord. And ultimately, what you will be given is the operating manual for your body-mind. And this will be a manual that you will have with you for the rest of your life. And you will be adding to it during your life for the rest of your life. So the manual will get fatter and fatter with more and more information, tools, strategies, solutions. And the whole point is to reverse symptoms, to prevent further illness, and to maintain and optimize your health. So who is this program for? This program is for people who want something different. Maybe you've been looking mainly at the physical cause of symptoms, you've been looking at dietary changes, you've been using supplements, maybe medication, but you know that something has been missing and you want to learn how your body-mind works, and you want to take back the reins of control over your own health. You're willing to take responsibility, you're willing to be curious, you're willing to learn about yourself, and you're just ready to do something different. And this is the type of person that this program is going to suit. But if you're still only mainly wanting to focus on the physical cause of physical symptoms and mainly put your focus on your diet and exercise and supplements, that sort of thing, then this program isn't going to be a right fit, because we're looking for the metaphysical cause of physical symptoms, which is where 99% of the cause is going to be found. So I just want to share a few stories from people, because over the years I've worked with hundreds of clients and many of them have sent me stories and updates. So I just want to share a few of these stories with you. There are more on the website. I haven't got time to go through all of them, but let me just share a few stories, because we always want to know, well, is this going to work for me, and where's the proof? So for example, this lady said, not only did I make a full recovery from chronic fatigue, I also learned how to use certain tools that allowed me to deal positively with the stresses of life as they arose, rather than carrying them around and getting upset. And another lady said, I feel like I've just been handed the keys to my life. You've unlocked the whole key to my life. Now, that was what this lady said after the root cause analysis session. She had been ill for several months with chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia. She'd been to her own doctor and her company doctor, and neither of them had been able to tell her why she had symptoms. And somehow she found her way to me. And in the root cause analysis, she finally understood, oh, okay, it's because I've not been dealing with my feelings, I've not been speaking my truth, I've not been letting my emotions out, I've not been being authentic with me, I've been tolerating unfair treatment from my ex-partner, and a whole range of other things, which all came to light in that first root cause analysis. And as a result of that, within a couple of weeks, she was significantly better, and within a month, she was completely better. Now, this brings me to an important point of, well, how long is it going to take me to get well? Because this is a really common question that we are going to ask. And one of the things that I used to do was to put deadlines on getting well. It's like, I'm going to be well by Christmas, I'll be well by my birthday, I'll be well by such and such a date. And then I finally learned that actually that didn't work, because it puts pressure on the body to perform something which it can't do unless you're doing what you need to do to stop the symptoms coming. So that is what we focus on in the program. And however long it takes you to get well will be different from any other person. So some people will be 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 3 months. Some people will be 6 months, maybe 9 months, a year. It's totally different for every person. But what I can say, which is why this program is 3 months, is that the average amount of time to learn what you need to learn and implement the changes that you're going to need to implement is around 3 months. That is what I have found over 14 years of coaching clients, is that the average amount and the minimum amount of time really is 3 months. There are a few people who happen to get well in less time, 2 weeks, 4 weeks. I remember one lady had fibromyalgia for over 20 years. She was fully well in 2 weeks. This can happen, but usually that means there's been other work that's already been put in place, and there was just one missing piece that needed to be put into that puzzle to see the whole picture puzzle. Now, I could read for hours from the stories that I've been sent, but I don't want to take the time to do that. You can look at the website by yourself. But to finish with, I just want to take you through a few really important questions. And I recommend that you close your eyes as I'm asking you these questions, because it'll allow you to go within and allow those answers to come from deep inside you. The first question is, with whatever symptoms you're experiencing right now, how are they impacting and affecting the ability to lead your life in a normal way? How are these symptoms affecting you, either physically, mentally, emotionally, or in any other way in your life? And what are they preventing you doing? What have you had to give up doing? Or what are you putting off? Or what are you tolerating? Because often we can get very used to our symptoms and we just compensate, and then we forget that we've compensated. But what would you be doing differently right now in your life if you didn't have these symptoms? And it's really important to get clear on this, because otherwise we just get used to things as they are and we put up with things, and the body is very good at tolerating and putting up with things. But then that can become a trap. And the next question I'd like to ask is to imagine that you're completely well. Even if you don't believe it, just imagine that you're well. What would your life look like? What are you doing? And where are you? Who are you with? What is different about your life compared to how it is right now with your symptoms? And most importantly, how are you feeling emotionally and mentally and physically? And the next question is, as far as you understand right now, what do you believe is causing your symptoms? And what do you think is preventing you from being well? And I can pretty much assure you that if you still have symptoms and you've not been able to get rid of them, then there's a missing piece to the puzzle. And that missing piece may not be something really dramatic, but it's just a piece that you can't see because we have these blinkers. And the last question is, what will happen if nothing changes in 3 months from now, or 6 months from now, or 12 months from now? What will your life look like? Because we can tolerate things for so long that we forget to imagine that it's going to continue like this unless something changes. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And again, this is very common because we're all doing our best, and if we don't know what we don't know, then we can't do something different. And that is what people learn in this program, is that they fill in the pieces of what it is that they didn't know, and they increase their awareness around what has been causing the problem and what the solutions are. And over the years that I've been coaching people, and certainly what I had to learn myself, was that one of the biggest traps is thinking that we can do it ourselves. And we can flail around for years trying to do it ourselves when everything could change in a few short weeks with the right help. And remember the analogy of going up Everest. You can either go up by yourself without having done any trekking at all, or you can go with an experienced guide. And that is the difference, and that is what I'm offering with this program. So if this feels right to you, if you're getting a yes inside you, if you're ready to change your situation, then I invite you to come on board, join the program, and your life could be completely different in a few short weeks and months. So if you choose to come along, I look forward to seeing you in the program, and thank you for watching this video.